What's up everybody, JBM back with another video, and in this one I'll be showing you how to sublimate to a coffee mug using a convection oven. If that's interesting to you, stick around. Alright, so this is the mug that I'll be printing. I'll be printing this on both sides of the mug, and I already basically set this up in Illustrator to save time for the video as far as how I set up my template. But I already had a template. I just sized it to the dimensions of this mug. But what I do need to do is I need to print about 4 or 5 more of these because I got to print 12 mugs. And this is what I've done. This was actually a sheet of paper that was too long. You can see the crease in the middle. So I folded it so I can get the length that I needed. And what I would do here, I'm just going to get me a piece of heat tape and put it right over this crease. To keep the paper from spreading when I actually use this one, because it's still good even though it's too long. I just fold it down the middle to the length that I need it, and I'm gonna cut the rest out. So I have 4 of them ready to go. But before I jump into wrapping up the mug, I'm gonna show you how I printed it. My paper size right now, I'm using first of all, I didn't tell you, obviously I'm using the Epson SC-F570 Sublimation printer. Currently I have the 17-inch roll in the back. So I'm going to adjust my artboard size by going over to the right side of the program. And again, this is Adobe Illustrator. Click on artboards, and then you click on the side to open up this window, and you can adjust the width and the height. So I'm going to keep the width at 17 inches because I want to use the maximum area of this roll. But I'm going to adjust the, let me see how far down this goes. This goes down to about 16 inches. So I'm going to, let's just do 17 by 17 and see how that looks. All right, 17 inches by 17 inches. And that is not far. Oh yeah, I'm not even looking at the right. Wait a minute. Okay. So I'm gonna group all of these together, and then I need to recenter it on my artboard. Now, everything fits. Zoom back in. Everything's fitting on the artboard. I already have my print settings already set. So if I Command P, I need to go into my page setup. Click on the paper size, drop down menu, manage custom sizes. And you need to change this. What I've been doing was the non-printable area drop down. I select my printer. It changes all your dimensions. Change this to 17 by 17, which is what you just did. So therefore, in your preview window, once you click OK out of here, you can see how everything fits in the window. All right. While we're here, we're going to go to color management. Let Illustrator determine the colors. And right now I have sRGB selected with relative colorimetric. Not going to change any of that. I'm going to click on the setup right here. I've already done this, but I'm just going through it again real quick. Drop down menu for your presets. No, sorry, wrong one. Go down, drop down menu, and click on printer settings. Currently I have it clip by margins. And the way you get there is you go to retain scale and then clip by margins. My paper source is roll paper, the 17-inch roll paper. I am printing to DS transfer general purpose rigid because I'm printing on a mug. My level or my print quality is on max quality, high speed. I've already printed this mug with these same settings, and since it came out like this, I'm not going to change any of that. I'm just going to keep it as is. click print, and everything's already set. Now I'm just going to double check the way it looks in my preview window and click print. And then all of this sent to the printer. I'll come back when it's done. I just want to show a quick preview of the print. I should have about one more row coming out. But so far this is 3 rows done so far, and you can see how you can see how the border minimizes, or the waste paper is minimized on both the top and the bottom. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just cutting out the images. Doesn't have to be perfect, because while I have mugs cooking in the convection oven, I'll be cutting out these. All right, so I got my 3 mugs. I'm gonna do 1 mug at a time. Leave it like so, and I have my 3 of these that I have. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and take this out of the wrap, set this here, and you wanna set this straight down where you're lining the handle to the middle of this image. And you just wanna wrap it around and just look at it to see. Make sure everything is in line, because you can still see the image through the paper. I don't know if y'all can. Yeah, you can a little bit. But I can still see the image through the paper. Flip it around, see where it lines up, and you might have to just slide the paper around a little bit to make sure everything is nice and even. Look at it. And the reason why I put that black border around, because I have the paper almost perfectly from the top of the mug to the bottom of the mug, and it helps me line up this image being in the center. All right, so it's pretty close to where I want it. Grab a heat transfer or heat resistant tape. Tape along this edge. Get that down, make sure it's pulled tight, and I'm just going to roll along the mug to make sure everything is nice and tight. Get you another piece of heat resistant tape. Tape down this edge if it'll work with me. It's acting like it doesn't want to right now. Alright. If this was a full image, like a full bleed top to bottom image, I would put some tape around the top, but the ink doesn't come all the way up to the top or the bottom. So I don't need to waste any tape with that. I will put some more on this bottom corner because I do have part of the image that's coming very close to that edge. And that just makes, ensures that that stays flush. So what you want to do after you tape your sublimation paper to the mug, you want to put another sheet of either parchment paper or butcher paper to act as your blowout. You can get this from your local store, parchment paper, order on Amazon, or if you have any of these sheets where you have a lot of extra wasted area on your paper, don't always throw it away, because you can use it if you have a large enough area of that wasted paper as your blowout for your image. In my case, I've used, or I printed on some 3G jet opaque paper. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna cut it, cut it down just a little bit, and I'm going to use this as my blowout paper. It covers my whole image all the way around. So now I'm getting another piece of tape long enough, and hopefully the tape doesn't mess up on me. But I'm going to get this tape long enough to go all the way from one side and stretch it to the other side just like that. Alright. Now my whole image is covered up. So now I'm going to get this silicone wrap. I don't even know what I'm saying. Drop this right in the center. And what you want to make sure when you use this silicone wrap is that the wrap comes over the top of the mug, like so, if I can get a good angle. And it also has to cover the bottom of the mug. And when I tighten it, I'll show you what I mean. But anyway, drop this on the center. You can always move it before you clamp it shut. Pull this together. And make sure this snugs all the way around, top and bottom. Alright, sorry about that. I got put on baby duty while my other kid is being taken to soccer practice. Alright, so this is the first one. I got 2 more of these to do because I'm going to cook 3 of them in the oven at one time. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other 2 like this, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I got my 3 mugs wrapped. And I'm going to cook all 3 of these at the same time. And I'm just using a regular convection oven that you can get from Walmart. But if you can't see it, what you might want to do is get one of these thermostats that you can see inside of here. Let me move this camera real quick. This little thermostat inside of there, it tells you the internal temperature, because as you can probably see here, I don't know if you can see that or not, the temperature is close to 450 degrees, but inside it's close to 400, and I'm baking this at 400 for 12 minutes. I'm not going to turn it in between, you know, half and half times. You know, after 6 minutes you turn it, because of the way I guess this oven is set up. You got burners up top and on bottom, so it should be pretty even cooking all the way around. So I'm not going to turn it. Alright, another thing that you want to get if you are doing sublimation with like these mugs are some heat resistant gloves. These are some silicone gloves with some nice padded inserts. So I'm only going to put on one. Actually, I don't need to put on any of them to put the mugs in the oven, but when I take it out, you definitely need to have it, because after a while, if you just hold the mug, you'll start to feel the heat coming through this glove. It's not going to burn your hand, but you can feel how hot it is. So let me go ahead and open this up. You want to work fast. Let me slide this back. 1, 2, 3. All right, I'm gonna close that up. I'm gonna get my phone and start my timer for 6 minutes. Here it is. So even though I just said I'm not going to do it half and half, let me go ahead and cancel this and go up to 12 minutes. All right. So when time's almost up, I'll come back, then we can take these out and see what we got. Alright, so that's the time. Go ahead and open this up. I have to take these out. And I'm going to move this over to the press so I can go ahead and take these off. Alright, so I'm back at the press. Got my gloves on. Let me move this tape out the way. One thing I'm going to use is this pick that I use for vinyl to help me remove the tape. So basically you get one of these mugs, unclamp it, like so. Now for this, I'm going to go ahead and remove one of my gloves. It's easier for me to work with the pick. Watch where you scrape with the pick, because you don't want to scrape the mug. So I'm going to scrape along the paper and try to get that tape up. All right. And if you can see this, the image is starting to come through the Sublimation printer. Up. Hold on, that's baby crying. I'll be right back. Alright, so I'm gonna work a little bit faster. This is the blowout paper. You can see the image came out on the blowout paper. Grab this mug. And there is your mug. Still pretty hot, but there it is. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and get these other two done. But if you like the video, hit the thumbs up, like and subscribe if you haven't already. As always, be yourself, be your best. I'm JBM. I'm out.